So this week's big review is Augmented Piano from UVI. This is a brand new piano library running in the free UVI workstation, or Falcon as well. It bills itself as a creative piano workshop, and they've sampled a 1909 Pleyel grand piano, which they've really abused for this collection. There's a grand total of 24 different preparations here, from string bowing to plucking. There's tapping, hitting with sticks, and playing with various objects, and of course playing in the normal way as well. They've also provided some played special effects, so let's have a listen. In total, it's a 14GB sample library with 23,000 samples, and the main GUI features microphone mixing for 3 different mic setups, along with velocity control. The edit window has controls for volume, ADSR, filter envelope, tone control, micro pitch control, and glide and mod wheel functions, so you can add tremolo, vibrato, and filtering on mod wheel. The third window is for sending effects such as convolution reverb, drive, EQing, chorus, which is for some reason called Thorus here. You've also got phaser, delay, and reverb. So first the pros, and there's a lot to go into. In fact, there's a lot for your money here. The 24 preparations all sound markedly different from one another, and it was quite easy to use the tone control and the various mic mixing options to create a sound I was happy with, starting with the couple of 100 presets. Some of these presets are very unusual sounding, so much so that if I'd have heard them in isolation, I probably wouldn't have even known that they were derived from a piano. As with most UVI instruments, the interface is very clearly laid out, especially the main page, which gives a great idea of where the mics were actually placed in the recording process, so it's super easy to see what's going on. So coming on to the cons, although overall it's a well-sampled package, some of the preparations don't exactly leap from the speakers, and they were a bit muddier than I'd have liked, and some had a little bit of distortion, I thought, as well. So that made me reach for the drive control to dial it down, also the volume control, and also EQ and mic controls to just tidy up the sound a little bit. I also missed some kind of onboard stereo taming control, as maybe sometimes I don't always want to have the bottom keys pan to the left and the top keys to the right. One major oversight, I thought, is that with such a wealth of different piano preparations on offer, there are relatively few mixed instrument presets using more than one preparation. That meant that once I'd exhausted the onboard presets, I was starting to layer up my own in the UVI engine. Now, don't get me wrong, this is a great way to create bespoke tones, and I had a lot of fun doing it, but it is a bit more hassle than it should be, given that maybe the collection could have had one master patch where you could layer all of these preparations together. Perhaps that's a bit much to ask for the UVI workstation to handle all in one go, but nevertheless, I think it would have been a cool idea if they could have pulled it off. So in conclusion, there's a lot of piano libraries out there that offer some kind of prepared effects. In fact, I'm covering many other ones on this edition of the show, so it's a crowded market. I have to say though that I'm not sure I've ever seen something quite so comprehensive in one package as UVI's Augmented Piano. It's a real shame that the options for mixing different preparations are a bit DIY, and you do have to manually ease off the distortion and volume on some of the presets, but that's an easy fix. I'd say if you don't already have an awful lot of unicorder and prepared pianos already in your arsenal, then this library is a great place to start, simply because you won't get as many different playing styles for the same kind of money elsewhere. Do check it out at the link in the show notes or at the UVI website. Thank you so much for watching. That's just a small taste of the Samplecast, a weekly podcast and YouTube show for sample library geeks and plugin enthusiasts. You can find out more information at thesamplecast.com. Don't forget to subscribe.